Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The processional will begin momentarily, but first, we present the following message from the senior class.
All throughout our school year, we've had some wonderful events and activities.
Many of these are so exciting. Football games, pep rallies, volleyball games, basketball games, soccer, and many other activities allow us to show our support by shouting and clapping.
As a cheerleader, I know how to get the crowd involved with cheers so that we can show our support for our teams.
Even some of our fine arts activities like plays and concerts allow us to applaud loudly or stand and cheer at the end.
But tonight is different. Tonight is a more serious occasion.
Tonight, we are celebrating, but in a different way.
This evening's event is our last time together as a senior class. And while it is a joyous occasion, it is also a serious reflection of the work that we have done over the past 13 years.
It is the closing of one chapter in our lives and the opening of another.
Tonight, we want every one of us and our family members to be able to enjoy our moment in the spotlight.
So please refrain from yelling, calling out, shouting, or clapping when any of our names are called. When you do that, the next senior called and their family may not hear their name.
So, the senior class of 2025 asks you to please be respectful throughout our graduation ceremony.
Tonight is our night to shine. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and remain standing. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Good evening and welcome to the 2025 commencement ceremony of the Academy for Classical Education. Tonight marks a significant milestone, not just for our graduates, but for all of us. We have completed our 11th year, and this is our 7th graduating class. As one of the co-founders of ACE, I find myself reflecting on just how far we've come. When we opened our doors in 2014, we had a simple but powerful vision to build a school where teachers could teach and students would learn. That has been our mantra since day one, and it remains the heartbeat of the school. Over the years, that vision has taken shape in countless ways, in the quiet moments of discovery, in the challenge of rigorous academics, and in the pride of personal growth. And tonight, it takes the shape of the extraordinary young people sitting before us, ready to step into the world. To our families and friends, thank you. You've partnered with us, you've believed in us, and supported these students with love and resilience. To our faculty and staff, thank you for being the embodiment of our mission. Your dedication, day in and day out, has created the environment we dreamed of. A place where excellence is expected and achieved. And to our graduates, thank you for making us proud. You are the living proof that ACE is more than a school. It is a place of purpose, passion, and possibility. As we begin tonight's celebration, we do so with full hearts. We are proud of who you've become, and we are excited for all that lies ahead. Congratulations, class of 2025. Your future is waiting, and we know you're ready. I now have the privilege of introducing our commencement speaker, Mr. Christopher N. Smith. Mr. Smith has practiced law in Georgia since 1991. He earned his Bachelor of Business Administration degree from the University of Georgia and his Juris Doctor degree from Mercer University's Walter F. George School of Law. He is admitted to practice before the Georgia Supreme Court and the Supreme Court of the United States. In addition to maintaining a private law firm in Macon, Mr. Smith advises international clients, particularly European companies, on entering the U.S. market. In recognition of his work, he was appointed Honorary Consul of the Kingdom of Denmark in 2006 and was knighted by Her Majesty Queen Marguerite, most recently elevated to Knight First Class in 2024. A frequent lecturer and media contributor, Mr. Smith has received numerous honors, including the Governor's International Award for Individual Contribution to Georgia. He is also a corresponding academician of the International Academy of Social Sciences and an honorary citizen of Chichiri, Panama. Please join me in welcome Mr. Christopher N. Smith.
Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the faculty, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the ACE Academy class of 2025. It's a real honor for me to be with you tonight. Now, I'm going to try to be brief because I don't want to stand too far between you and this well-earned diploma. But I'm going to go over a few things with you. Now, I know class is over, but class of 2025, I do have a question for you. Show of hands. How many of you know who Friday is named after? 1, 2, okay, not everybody. It's been said when you go to a talk, if you learn something that you'll remember, then it's worth going to. So I'm going to share something with you tonight at the age of around 18 that I probably didn't know till I was in my 30s or later. Friday is named after Freya. She is a Nordic goddess. And representing Denmark, we say these things, you know, because 4 of the 7 days of the week are named from Norse mythology. Tuesday's for Thule, Wednesday, Odin, Thursday, Thor, you know. Before there was a superhero, there was other Thor. So if you haven't learned anything else tonight, I hope you can take that away with you. A little bit of knowledge that you wouldn't think that would affect us 4 out of the 7 days of the week. Now, I'm going to go over and just give you a quote that is a lot different than the situation you're in tonight. But after the Second Battle of El Alamein, the great Sir Winston Churchill said, "Now is not the end, nor is it the beginning of the end, but perhaps it is the end of the beginning." And those of you remember from history, that was a key turning point in World War II in 1942 in North Africa. You're in a different situation. You're merely at the end of the beginning of what is going to be a fantastic, long and prosperous, happy and productive life. And so from that, you will be moving forward to go on to great things. So that's my Churchill quote. In addressing this crowd, I was very excited to get this opportunity. I've been very fortunate and blessed. I've spoken many places in the U.S. and Europe, elsewhere, but I've never spoken to a graduation class before. So I'm thinking to myself, well, what do I do? And you know, you look out there and you see some of these graduation talks are great inspirational speakers, but I'm not an inspirational speaker. Then you see some, you have comedians that are really funny, but I'm not a comedian. And then worse is when you have someone that's out there promoting a product or an agenda on someone else's time, and that's not the place for this. This is about you, the graduates, and your families, what you've achieved. So I decided to kind of go the authentic route. And authenticity is something that you'll hear. It's an important word that you'll hear a lot about. Being authentic. You hear people in business, be authentic, be yourself. And that's kind of a theme. Well, being the honorary consul of Denmark, I did get to do a lot of great things, but most of the time I'm making my living being a lawyer. And that means doling out advice. So if you'll bear with me before I get into the international part of this, I'm just going to dole out some advice, some of which you've heard before, some of which you haven't. So bear with me. Odd piece of advice. Always carry a paper towel with you. Let me tell you why. Over 40 years ago, when I was standing in your shoes, I wasn't inside, I was outside of the stadium. A bird thought so highly of my academic achievement, it decided to do target practice on my gown. Fortunately, a classmate, she came to my rescue with a napkin. So ever since then, I've carried a paper towel. You never know when it's going to come in handy. And when your parents tell you nothing good happens after midnight, they're right, listen to them. as you get out of here, most of you are going to go off to college, some are going in the military, some going in the workforce. But when you get out of the house, you're going to have a lot of freedom. And you know the old saying, with great freedom comes great responsibility. So when you're out there, think before you act, be responsible, and, take care of yourself. Take care of your bodies. Just like an automobile and anything, it's got to be maintained. And this one that you've got, it's got to last you a long time. And the better you take care of yourself now, the better you'll be holding up in the future. Now, going into that a little bit more about authenticity, I would tell you that be a good friend to people, a true friend. A true friend doesn't only call somebody when they need them. A true friend calls somebody when they're down to help lift them up. Be a two-way street in life. You don't want to be the person that somebody sees on the telephone and says, what does he want this time? Be a two-way street. Be reciprocal. Now, I'm going to go in a little bit more and just talk about what I think is important, especially in this day and age, is maintaining your right as an individual. Now, I'm a fan of this old wacky TV show from the 1960s called The Prisoner, spy-fi drama. And it kind of foretold about what you need to do to maintain your rights in the future. And what he said, I will not allow myself to be booked, filed, stamped, briefed, indexed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own. I'm not a number, I'm a free man. Now, you can check it out on Amazon.com if you want to see it on the Prime. But basically what he's saying is the struggle to maintain your individuality moving forward. And that's important because I will tell you, regardless of what anybody ever tells you, Macon, Georgia is a fantastic place to grow up. You got great parents here. You've learned good values, not only from your parents, from your school, from your houses of worship. And as you go out there in the real world, there will be people that will challenge those values. There will be peer pressures. There will be other pressures. Don't submit to them. Stay true to your compass, your moral compass, and you'll do well. In your associations, if you always want to be the smartest person in the room, you're never going to learn anything. So surround yourself and engage yourself with people who know things that you don't know. That way you'll be able to learn, and they'll be able to learn from you. So that's a little bit on that. Now, I'm shifting gears here. We're going to talk a little bit about the global matters, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the lovely, happy kingdom that I'm so happy to represent, and that's the Kingdom of Denmark. It's the oldest kingdom in Europe. The flag, the Dannebrog, just turned 800 years old. It's the oldest flag in the world that is still flying. I tell people we love the Swiss, but this isn't their flag. We love the Dutch, but that's not Denmark. The Kingdom of Denmark actually consists of not only Denmark proper, but also the Faroe Islands, which are in the North Atlantic above Scotland. I was just down in Thunderbolt near Savannah, Georgia the other day, getting a new relationship going with them. And then, as some of you may have heard, Greenland. Greenland, of course, is in North America. And that's been, the Vikings settled it over 1,000 years ago, and it's been constantly part of Denmark since 1722. As far as Denmark's relations with the United States, it's one of our oldest and dearest allies. In 1801, diplomatic relations were established, and right after that, in 1802, they set up a series of consulates, one of which was in Savannah, Georgia, which is a post that I now hold because it's moved to Macon. And we take great pride that out of 74 countries in this state, the oldest consulate is Denmark. So that's a long history of cooperation. Denmark, along with the United States, of course, is a founding member of NATO. They're very involved with NORAD operations up in Greenland with Canada and the United States to our defense. Over 4,200 people owe their jobs to Danish companies here in Georgia due to trade back and forth as well as direct investment. Here locally, we have the radar manufacturer Dinex in Warner Robins that makes the radar for many of our military aircraft, including the F-35 and the F-16. Down in Dublin, we have Dinex, which is a muffler manufacturer. Terma's the one in Warner Robins. So that's my little bit about Denmark. I would tell you that if you want to go there, SAS now has a direct flight between Atlanta and Copenhagen. So I hope you get to do that. Broader, I would just tell you globally this. Always remember, wherever you are, wherever you go, wherever you are, you're part of the globe too. It doesn't matter if you're in Lizella or Liechtenstein. We're all part of the global community. Now, some of you may go work for internationally owned companies like YKK here in Macon. Some of you may join the military and go abroad and deal with our allies and be stationed elsewhere. Other of you may work for American companies that export abroad. All of us will be engaged with people throughout the world because right now in the state of Georgia, about 12% of our population is foreign born. Every time you meet someone from abroad, it gives you an opportunity to learn. Now, one thing I would say about that, and I say this from experience, I've been to a lot of things over the years, and it always baffles me when supposedly educated people will meet somebody from abroad or even another city or another state. And the first thing they have to say about it is negative. You know, where are you from? And the first thing they pull out is something negative. Or they'll say, well, I've never heard of that. Well, you're not going to make a friend that way. And I had a former law clerk, she's been working in Washington, D.C., and she came by when I was up at the embassy not long ago, and she told me the best advice I gave her, which made me happy. You know, she listened to me. So I'm going to share it with you. If you meet somebody, and this is true even within the state of Georgia, a lot of people don't know where a lot of our small towns are, but particularly when it's abroad. If you meet somebody and you don't know anything about where they're from, what you say, honestly, authentically, is, you know, gee, I've really never read much up on Bhutan. What would you suggest I do if I go on a vacation there? Well, what are people going to do? They're going to light up like a Christmas tree, and they're going to tell you. Just like if somebody didn't know anything about Macon, we're going to tell you about all our assets, about the Cherry Blossom Festival, the Oak Mulgee Mounds, the Hay House, Capricorn, everything that we have to offer. That's how a dialogue gets going, and that's how you make a new friend. The last thing I would tell you on the international front is this. 2 bits of advice. One is to know geography, the other is to know history. And I'll take geography, for example. It's great to ask those questions when you don't know much about something, but it's even better when you do know something about where somebody's from. I can remember years ago, there's this beautiful young exchange student from Bulgaria, and nobody really knew how to talk to her because they didn't, where? What? Bull what? Nothing. So I got a chance to talk to her, and she told me she was from Bulgaria, and I said, well, how far do you live from Sofia, the capital? Well, that conversation is still going on because we just celebrated our 31st wedding anniversary. So you never know when that's going to come in handy. And so just keep that up. I'm so proud of this class, of this school. It's an asset. It's a gem here in Macon-Bibb County. Y'all are going to go out in the world and do great things. And I want to appreciate you allowing me to play a small part in this evening. And in closing, I would just give you a refrain from a song back in my days of the Cavemen. The future's so bright, you got to wear shades. Go Griffins.
Good evening. I'm Memory Murphy, a teacher here at the Academy for Classical Education, and I've been given the honor of speaking this evening. Today we gather not only to celebrate a milestone in your academic journey, but also to remember someone whose presence should be here with us in this moment, Ethan Robertson. Ethan was more than a classmate. Ethan was a friend, a light in our lives, a person whose smile, kindness, and quiet strength touched everyone who knew him. Though he may not be walking across this stage tonight, His journey is deeply woven into the fabric of this class and into our memories. We remember the way Ethan showed up with heart, determination, and with a smile that could change the course of someone's day. Whether he was helping a friend, working on a difficult assignment, or just his steady presence in the classroom, on the track, or on the football field, Ethan left a lasting mark. Class of 2025, class of 2025. May you carry Ethan's memory with grace, and may it inspire all of us to be kinder, braver, and more compassionate human beings. Thank you and congratulations.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to celebrate the graduation of ACE's class of 2025. I'd like to begin by thanking Ms. Relier, Ms. Stokes, and all of the admin, faculty, and staff for all that they do for our school. ACE is the place we know and love it to be because of all of you. Thank you to the friends and family of every graduate sitting in this room, as we wouldn't be here without your love and support. Specifically, I would like to thank my mom for being my first teacher for so many years and for being my biggest cheerleader. Thank you to my dad for always believing in me and supporting me in all that I do. Thank you to my sister Anna for being my built-in best friend and for always being by my side. Finally, I want to thank my Heavenly Father for all the opportunities He has provided me with and the courage He has given me to pursue them. The first thing I said to my mom after finding out that I was salutatorian was, "Oh no, now I have to make a speech." And any of my friends could tell you how much I hate public speaking. Additionally, as someone who still asks my mom for help sending emails and making appointments, I feel like the least qualified person to stand up here and offer advice or words of wisdom, but I promise to try my best. I began my journey at ACE a month into my freshman year of high school. Having been homeschooled my whole life, I had never stepped foot in a real classroom prior to that, and I had an interesting first week, to say the least. I got lost going to my classes for the first few days, cried almost every night when I came home because I had to do homework, and I had to make up about 3 weeks' worth of schoolwork as quickly as possible. On more than one occasion, I questioned whether I had made the right decision in coming to ACE. Looking back on that now, I can tell you with confidence that I did not make a mistake. Sure, even as a senior, I still complained about homework or came home to have a good cry about my day. But ACE caused me to grow as a student and a person. I learned to love subjects like science and math, which I couldn't have cared less about in middle school. And I had opportunities to learn new skills, such as graphic design, ceramics, and French. I have fallen in love with ACE, these walls that have been my second home for these past 4 years in a way I could never have imagined. And let me tell you, ACE is special because of the people inside its walls. I have never met more passionate and dedicated people than our teachers. It is clear to me that the teachers at ACE care deeply about their students, and that quickly made me feel at home here. Our teachers work tirelessly to make sure that we receive the best education possible. They give up time with their families to join us for school trips. They show up to our sports games, our concerts, and our competitions to cheer us on. To every teacher I've had over the past 4 years, I would like to thank you all specifically. In addition to fostering my love for learning, you all have shown me what it looks like to truly care about those around you. And of course, I couldn't stand up here saying how much I love this school without recognizing my amazing group of friends. You guys are the reason school was worth going to on the days when my classes were tedious. We've laughed together, cried together, and shared some of my favorite memories from the past 4 years. From field trips to shared classes to football games and even just chatting during dismissal, I treasure these years we got to spend together. I will forever be grateful to ACE for giving me the opportunity to meet some of my favorite people on this planet. So that is my story with this school. It's unlike anyone else's, and to me, that is the beauty of our school. Everyone's story is different. Looking at my fellow seniors, some of you have been here since the day ACE opened its doors in 2014. Many of you joined this journey along the way. Some of you only arrived this school year. We have students who have lived in Middle Georgia their entire lives, and we have students from the other side of the world. We are all different, but what we have in common is ACE. It is what brought us all together to be sitting in this room today. Even years from now, we will always be connected because of this school and our time spent together. I want to take a moment now for us to think about our future. The future that will begin in just an hour after we have all crossed this stage. I have no doubts that this graduating class will go on to do great things. I cannot even begin to list the achievements and successes of my classmates sitting in front of me, And that list of achievements will only continue to grow as we move on into adulthood. In this room, right now, we have future doctors and nurses, future engineers and scientists, future teachers and public service members, future politicians and artists, future professional athletes and musicians, and more. I look forward to the days to come when I will read or hear about someone's success and be able to proudly say, I went to high school with them. Today closes our chapter of life that was ACE. Our years spent together are about to become the past instead of being our present. I hope that you all carry fond memories of this school with you, wherever you go. I know I will. Though we are all about to go our separate ways, we will always be connected. We will always be the ACE class of 2025. Congratulations to all my classmates, and thank you.
Good evening. My name is Alex Jordan, and I am the valedictorian for ACE's class of 2025. You may remember me from such hits as the second grade timeline song, perhaps my greatest legacy here at ACE. As a class, we have grown up together at ACE. Many of us started here when the school opened in 2014 in the little building, eager to make new friends, not fully realizing that this group of students would be our family for the next 10 years. We weren't just second graders, but ACE's first class of second graders, helping build a school culture even as we were formed by that culture. Those first few years, we made memories that stick with us to this day. In Mrs. Scott's third grade class, I remember us all working towards our Mastery Club tasks while simultaneously learning about westward expansion through the playing of the old Oregon Trail game. I'm very proud to say that 80% of the class eventually made it to Oregon without contracting a bad case of dysentery. In fourth grade, we learned about citizenship with the grade-wide election between the pizza party, the ice cream party, and a third-party candidate, Fruit. If you were unfortunate enough to be in my class, I sincerely apologize for convincing us to vote for Fruit, bypassing the other options of a pizza party or ice cream party. That one's on me. Learning in the classroom has also been supplemented by our field trips, all of which built very strong memories. In Columbus, some of us got a little too eager on the rafts and ended up clearing water out of our ears for the next couple days after flipping. And would DC have been as memorable if we didn't get kicked out of the DC United supporters section at the soccer game after making it incredibly obvious that we snuck in by standing 20 rows behind the next supporter? And sophomore year with the USS Yorktown in Charleston, actually I think it's better if what happened in Charleston stays in Charleston. Luckily, the USS Yorktown, an 800-foot-long aircraft carrier and one of the most powerful battle stations of the 20th century, has fewer security cameras than Locker Alley. Every family has their arguments, and we have definitely had ours in the form of competition. For example, this year at Senior Field Day, Mr. Maley's incredibly well-deserving homeroom, no bias here at all, came in a close second to Mrs. Propst's homeroom. While we were competitive there for sure, at least it didn't reach the point that it did in fifth grade, where all our kickballs and footballs were taken away from us after we got a little too carried away at recess. While we're on that topic, whatever happened to that petition we signed to get them back? Well, we definitely have grown as a class. We didn't do it on our own. We wouldn't have made it very far if it hadn't been for our many wonderful teachers. They constantly support our involvement in the courses through instruction and projects that spark our curiosity and imagination. I mean, how many teachers do you know that would teach their class to play ancient Mesoamerican ball games or let us mummify chicken legs? If you weren't in our class, you might at least remember the smell that lingered in the hall for days. Many teachers here at ACE have also put time and effort into getting certified for higher level instruction, including getting licensed to teach our many AP classes, which offer the rigor that ACE has become known for. Another element of ACE's rigor is the requirement of summer work, which as students we dread, but looking back on it, the assignments really did contribute to our education. That said, I'm looking forward to my first assignment-free summer since second grade, as I'm sure all of you are as well. However, you might want to double check your emails just to be sure. It's possible that one last book report might be required before you can pick up your diploma. Our time at ACE has been marked by more than just work in the classroom, as we have been active in athletics, fine arts, and clubs. We are constantly supporting each other in these activities, cheering on our Griffins in their matches, attending jaw-dropping performances by our theater and music programs, and representing ACE well at conferences and in the community. What I mean to say is that as a class, as a family, we have grown into the accomplished, bright, and promising individuals gathered here today. Our past experiences have shaped us, and we have helped shape the school and our communities in turn. It seems surreal that we are finally graduating, and I'm really looking forward to how we will build our futures. At the risk of sounding cliche, congratulations, ACE Class of 2025. I cannot wait to see where we end up and what the future holds. Thank you.
As principal of the Academy for Classical Education, I have the honor to present to you the class of 2025. I certify that these young ladies and young gentlemen have met all attendance requirements and Carnegie unit requirements required by the state of Georgia and the Academy for Classical Education. I hereby petition the governing board chairman to confirm that these young ladies and young gentlemen are 2025 graduates of the Academy for Classical Education.
As chairman of the governing board of the Academy for Classical Education, I certify that these young ladies and young gentlemen have completed the requirements prescribed by the Georgia Department of Education and the Academy for Classical Education, and now confirm you as graduates.
Saba Afridi, ACE Diploma with distinction. Waylon Thomas Allen, ACE Diploma. Ryan Neal Arrington, ACE Diploma. Amelia Lynn Backus, ACE Diploma. Gage Martin Bauer, ACE Diploma. Lauren Laney Bridges, ACE Diploma. Kyle Andrew Caleb Brightman Talcott, ACE Diploma. Caitlin Alexis Brown, ACE Diploma with distinction. Tanner Edward Brown, ACE Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Cameron David Bullington, ACE Diploma with distinction. Porter Andrew Bullington, ACE Diploma with distinction. Madeline Ruth Berry, ACE Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Isabel Grace Carlson, ACE Diploma with distinction. Braden Andrew Carmichael, ACE Diploma with distinction. John Hampton Carter, ACE Diploma with distinction. Christopher Hyun-Chul Choi, ACE Diploma with distinction. Addison Gale Clark, ACE Diploma with distinction, cum laude. Melissa Colombo, ACE Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Hannah Marie Cork, ACE Diploma with distinction. Isaiah Thomas Dean, ACE Diploma with distinction. Francesca DeVert, ACE Diploma with distinction. Caitlin Elizabeth Dixon, ACE Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Matthew Eric Dodd, ACE Diploma with distinction. Ava Faith Dotsikas, ACE Diploma with distinction. Sarah Rhett Dallas Farmer, ACE Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Caitlin Brianne Ferris, ACE Diploma. Eliza Reese Fisher, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Honor Society. Avery Tipton Fleener, ACE Diploma. Hannah Rose Floyd, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Hannah Kate Forehand, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Danae Leela Francis, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Leanne Chelsea Valanda Garcia, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Brooklyn Kane Giles, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Madison Jane Grant, ACE Diploma with Distinction, cum laude. Anna Marissa Graves, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Hunter Kelly Guy, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Madison LaRue Haller, ACE Diploma. Michael Alexander Hamlin, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Reagan Hope Hamlin, ACE Diploma. Bailey Blake Harden, ACE Diploma. Orrin Hall Harden IV, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Amber Leah Hardy, ACE Diploma with Distinction, cum laude. Zarel Keyshawn Hasty, Ace Diploma. Madison Elizabeth Hayden, Ace Diploma with Distinction, Summa Cum Laude, National Beta Club. Emily Mohammed Hezema, Ace Diploma with Distinction. Landry Artemis Heath, Ace Diploma with Distinction. Sarah Catherine Hilliard, Ace Diploma with Distinction, Cum Laude, National Beta Club. Mary Wade Howard, Ace Diploma with Distinction. Sarah Faye Irby, Ace Diploma with Distinction. Isabella Page Jones, Ace Diploma with Distinction. Lucy Marie Jones, Ace Diploma with Distinction, Summa Cum Laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Alexander Reed Jordan, valedictorian, Ace Diploma with Distinction, Summa Cum Laude, National Merit Scholar, Star Student, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Robert Collins Kinley, Ace Diploma with Distinction, Summa Cum Laude. Zoe Laurice Corey, Ace Diploma. Chandler David Kirkman, Ace Diploma. Theodore Rollin Knowles, Ace Diploma with Distinction. Matthew Hyun Woo Lee, Ace Diploma with Distinction, National Merit Scholar. Mackenzie Ruth Lewis, Ace Diploma with Distinction, Cum Laude. Lindsay Rachel Lineberger, Ace Diploma. Lane Mitchell Livingston, ACE Diploma. Aaron Montreal Mac Thomas, ACE Diploma. Sydney Collier Marbot, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Honor Society. Connor Andrew Martin, ACE Diploma with Distinction, National Beta Club. Stuart Payson McCurry, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Kayla Elizabeth McClin, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Yoselin Miranda Valencia, ACE Diploma, cum laude. Urvi Mishra, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Honor Society. Stratton Rains Murphy, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Victoria Lee Murphy, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Caleb Ryan Neesmith, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude. Karis Joel Owens, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Mahi Mitul Patel, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Prince Prakash Patel, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Richa Mahir Patel, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Samil Rupen Patel, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude. Tanish Vinod Patel, ACE Diploma. Yatin Kalpesh Kumar Patel, Ace Diploma. Christopher James Patterson, Ace Diploma with distinction. Hannah Madison Peak, Ace Diploma with distinction, cum laude. Walter Clay Penholster, Ace Diploma with distinction. Mackenzie Janiyah Pitts, Ace Diploma with distinction. Molly Alana Privet, Ace Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Ava Caroline Queen, Ace Diploma with distinction. Blaine Nicholas Rainey, Ace Diploma. Crystal Melly Ramos, Ace Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club, National Honor Society. Sawyer Jackson Rao, Ace Diploma with distinction. Virginia Rose Register, Ace Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Jason Moises Resendiz, Ace Diploma. Jake Landon Reiner, Ace Diploma. Emily Grace Robine, salutatorian, Ace Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude. Jessica Brianna Robinson, Ace Diploma with distinction. Kaylee Elaine Sabathny, Ace Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude. Miriam Mohammed Sayed, Ace Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Honor Society. Ronan Alexander Scott, ACE Diploma. Ella Simone Schuster, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Gavin Thomas Smith, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Haley Ann Smith, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude, National Honor Society. Caitlin Elizabeth Stanton, ACE Diploma. Gabriel Tide Stokes, ACE Diploma. John Clyde Thomason Strandberg, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Samantha Grace Sutton, ACE Diploma with Distinction, summa cum laude. Jasmine Nicole Taylor, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Wendell Najair Timothy, ACE Diploma. Tristan Taylor True, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Logan Grant Tucker, ACE Diploma. Alexander Joshua Tunnel, ACE Diploma with Distinction. Braden Lee Turner, ACE Diploma. Bryce Anthony Whitley, ACE Diploma. Annalise Elizabeth Williams, ACE Diploma. Elisha Nashe Williams, ACE Diploma. Reed Patrick Weimer, ACE Diploma with distinction. Ava Grace Woodell, ACE Diploma with distinction, summa cum laude, National Beta Club. Carly Shay Yates, ACE Diploma with distinction. Carson Grace Yates, ACE Diploma with distinction. Maria Bila Rochella, foreign exchange student, Spain. Jake Neil McClendon, ACE Diploma with distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating the Academy for Classical Education's Class of 2025! You were a very good crowd. Make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the ACE Student Declaration and remain standing for the alma mater. We are ACE, the Academy for Classical Education, where teachers can teach and students will learn. As an ACE scholar, I will be the best version of myself. I will work with diligence and honor. I will respect myself and others. I will seek truth, goodness, and beauty in all things. We are ACE.
He
We started this school year with a quote from Marcus Aurelius. We should discipline ourselves in small things, and from these progress to things of greater value. You've heard me talk about the little things all year because they matter. They are the building blocks of your future. The little things you've practiced daily, showing up, working hard, caring for others, have shaped who you are and will guide who you'll become. Yes, it was a hassle to wear your ID, to tuck in your shirt, to be on time. But those little acts taught you discipline. You learned how to meet expectations, how to advocate for yourself and others, and how to lead with empathy, especially during a year when our ACE community faced heartbreaking loss, a loss that left a lasting mark on your class. In those difficult days, you showed compassion and unity beyond your years. Now is the time to think about your future, whether you're heading into the workforce, the military, or college. What do you hope to achieve in the next 5 years, in the next 10? Set goals for yourself. Use the tools you've gained at ACE. Take the discipline you've built through school and apply it to life. Break your goals down into small, meaningful steps. Pursue them with diligence. Pursue them with honor. Always respect yourself. What does that mean? It means never demeaning yourself. It means avoiding situations that could harm you or others. Know your worth. You are capable. We know this because you're graduating from ACE. Remember that to earn respect, you must first show it. Simple acts saying please and thank you, yes ma'am and no sir, go a long way. They may seem like little things, but they reflect a deep understanding of respect. And the best part, they're free. As you step into the wider world, always seek the truth. Don't let yourself be misled or swayed without thought. Think for yourself, learn the facts, decide for yourself what is true. Look for the goodness in the world. Notice the everyday acts of kindness, holding the door for someone, helping someone pick up what they've dropped, letting an elderly person go ahead in line. Look for beauty in all things. Every person, every moment has something beautiful to offer. Take the time to notice those little things. I know how smart and capable you are. I can't wait to see the mark you leave on this world. But remember, your mark doesn't have to be loud to be meaningful. It could be the way you lead with integrity when no one is watching, the way you lift someone's spirits with a kind word, or how you show up every day and do your best. Greatness isn't always about fame or recognition. It's about impact. And impact starts with the small, consistent choices you make every day. Be brave enough to try, be humble enough to learn, be bold enough to fail, and then get back up again. Your time at ACE has been the foundation. Now it's up to you to build something incredible on it. Take pride in how far you've come and have faith in how far you can go. Your teachers have now taught you, and you have truly learned. You are ready for this journey, one step at a time. Congratulations, class of 2025. We are so proud of you. Go make us even prouder.